think they like my Colorado swag. Cause when I'm in that flag, I don't really know just how to act. And when I'm in that goal, you know I'm acting bad. Holla and get a bus with my Colorado swag. My Colorado swag, my Colorado swag. I think they like my Colorado swag. My Colorado swag, my Colorado swag. Man, I swear, I think they like my Colorado swag. My Colorado swag is pushing 180. Speeding past competition, see you later, baby. Colorado Army with soldiers like the Navy. And boat is where we station, patiently awaiting. When I hit the field, it's so hard to behave. I'm Colorado swagging as the crowd do the wave. Look into my eyes, I can tell that you afraid. Cause you know we finna hit ya. Hey, you on your own now, why you watching the official? You just better hope you make it to the next whistle. And we ain't playing with you, you can get it anytime. It started at the scrimmage, we gon' win it at the line. My Colorado swag in the middle of the ring. Throwing blows, knocking down team after team. I think they like my Colorado swag. Cause when I'm in that flag, I don't really know just how to act. And when I'm in that goal, you know I'm acting bad. Holla, get a bus with my Colorado swag.
Welcome in to DNVR Buffs Postgame, presented by the Colorado XOs. I'm Henry Chisholm. This is Ryan Koenigsberg making some sounds. He's going to be making plenty more sounds tonight.
I love sounds.
We've got Ben on the other side of the couch. Lucky guy gets to share with Ryan. Maybe we'll get some Ben Palm rankings later, too. We'll see how the show goes.
We just might.
Ben Palm rankings, go.
Right now?
Rank everything.
On everything that exists?
In the world. Starting with number one.
What is number one, Ben? Pick number one.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Ben Palm says Reese's Peanut Butter Cups,
Greatest
number one thing in the world.
I love I don't care what he said. The fact that he was decisive makes me really happy.
Yeah, it also makes me really want a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
Love a good RPC.
Sure do. The Buffs won tonight. Maybe a little bit of an ugly win.
Nope.
No
such thing.
Okay, well let's
Never
just jump into the biggest takeaways. What is your biggest takeaway, Ryan?
Everybody chill the F out.
That's a good one.
That's my biggest takeaway. Like, there was this whole, and I understand it. Like, I get it. I understand why everyone's worried, and people were worried about like a late season collapse like last season. And it's just like, all right, let it go. It's over. That's not going to happen. They lost to Cal, which they shouldn't have done. They lost to Oregon, which they should have done.
Yeah.
And now they beat Oregon State, which they should have done. And it's just like, all right, let it go. Like, this isn't a big deal. Everyone's fine. McKinley Wright, 21 points, took care of business. You don't have to freak out anymore. That's my biggest takeaway. It's like, okay, so you can put to bed your whiny little narrative about how the Buffs are going to blow it late in the season.
I will do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. I know. The thing that stood out to me about that whole thing, though, is that it seems like it was the players as much as anybody who'd bring it up. Like, you go into the postgame, and last game, Deshaun Schwartz is saying, we know what happened last year. We know how those last 5 games went. We're not going to let it happen again. And I would have thrown it to the side if not for hearing that it was still on their minds. Just knowing that it is on the players' minds, concern you? Do you like that?
I mean, nothing concerns me now because they took care of business. But
yeah,
the fact that I want them to be aware of it. I want them to know, we cannot let this garbage happen again. Yep. They're better than Oregon State in every facet of the game. And they went out there and they just took care of business. So, no, I'm not worried about it. I am worried about these Arizona State uniforms that are on television. These are disgusting. Almost as disgusting as Bobby Hurley is as a coach.
Wow.
Disgustingly bad.
This is what we're here for. We're here for Ben Palm rankings and wherever we're going with Ryan tonight.
So Arizona State is up 14-4.
Yeah.
14-6 now. If you can get on that live line, do it. Bobby Hurley's a fraud. Arizona State is garbage. These uniforms are disgusting. Fade them at every opportunity.
They're on the road.
Ben, you're allowed to talk.
I wasn't sure. I was just gonna let you keep rolling. And
what does Ben Palm say about those uniforms?
Oh well, I mean, they're
Last
up there
in the
with
Pac-12.
They're up there with Oregon as far as they try and get creative with their uniforms, and the more creative they try and get, I think the worse they get.
I think that's a good take.
And real quick on Bobby Hurley, probably maybe the peak of my college career came freshman year, Arizona State visiting Colorado, and I started a Bobby's bitching chant that the entire arena got in on. So if you recall that game, feel free to send me a thank you note. You know, my biggest takeaway for this game, it really doesn't deviate from all the things that you touched on. McKinley Wright exercised his will tonight, went out there with 21 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Just a strong performance from him. But also Evan Batty bouncing back. He was 0 for 5 of the floor against Oregon. Comes back today with 10 points. All of those did come in the first half. So they limited his impact in the second half. But, really great to see 2 of Colorado's stars be able to come back after a tough game against Oregon. Flyby Singus, I see your comment. Ben doesn't have enough stickers on his laptop. It's a collage. I'm artistic, and I'm working on it.
Honestly, you need to relax on the stickers.
No, but if you see here, we've got up here, we've got Tim Tebow kneeling. But right here, though, that is a DNVR Buffs sticker. We just got new stickers in just yesterday. So go to DNVRLocker.com, check out our Buff stickers. They are
good plug.
high quality. Yeah.
Honestly, I just want to let
Seamless
you guys
plug.
know that Ben is a fraud. None of these stickers are actually stuck.
Which makes them not stickers.
No, they're just floaters.
Yeah.
And all I hit are floaters.
I could just go like this and just knock them all out of place.
I really would appreciate you don't, because this is taking a long time to do. No, see, here's the thing, though. Every time Ryan has seen my laptop before today, it's always been complimentary.
It's too
but
much
when I
now.
added the DNVR stickers today, he said, nope, that's too many.
What is going on here? There's 100 stickers
there
in
are
there.
a lot of stickers.
My favorite is the little, I don't know if the camera can see it, but I have a small whale in the corner that just says, oh, whale. And that really brings it together.
Don't you feel bad for the stickers in the back, though? Like, I'm sure there's some good stickers that aren't getting any light.
Yeah.
Well, I look, it's tough. You know, sometimes when you're in a position of power like myself, setting and making this collage, you
Yeah.
got to make tough choices.
All right. Well, we'll
We
come
can
back
do
to
these-
this
we can
next
do
week.
these
Maybe we'll
tangents
get
during
Ben
the
a
winner's
water
lounge.
bottle or something. Like, I don't know. There's got to be somewhere else you can put some stickers.
I just want the stickers to stick. That's all I want.
It's not asking much.
I understand. I agree, Henry.
All right. We're gonna get into this basketball game a little bit more, but first let's just look around these scoreboards, because so far good things are happening for the Buffs today. Unlikely that they could chase down USC for that number 1 spot, but USC did lose to Arizona. Right now, like Ryan said, UCLA is down to Arizona State, another team in front of Colorado.
They will win.
Oregon is only up 3 at home early in the second half against Utah. And then there's one more, I thought. Oh, Stanford lost in triple overtime. Yep. So really all of the results that you'd like to see. I guess without Oregon is actually leading, but barely, which is all you could really ask for. Good stuff happening there. I haven't given any biggest takeaways yet. Oh, I'll do a fun one. Tristan da Silva. Every game, there's more and more. And today's game, what really stood out, and this has been the case a couple of times, was just his feel. And it almost seems like he's seeing the court on a different level than a lot of the same people that he's playing with. You know, the way that he finds those passes when he's in close. There was the great finish, the 3-point play where he got fouled. Like, there's some tricky finishes in there. You can see that he's a shooter. You can see he's the passer. And I am very high on Tristan da Silva. And it makes sense. I mean, he was playing late in the game too, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he was really bad against Oregon, like really bad against Oregon.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see him bounce back.
Yep.
He was making big plays. He had an awesome and one. He is trustworthy on the defensive end of the ball now. And like you said, Tad Boyle played him in the biggest minutes of the game. And I think that's an incredible feather in the cap for a freshman who wasn't part of the rotation 2 weeks ago.
It's crazy.
So really excited for him. Ever since I turned to Ben when they were playing Arizona and I said he's turned a corner, he's absolutely turned a corner. So half credit to me, half credit to Tristan da Silva for
Maybe a little for Tad.
No,
Just you two.
Yeah,
Just you
50%
two.
to him, 50% to me, and good for us as he begins to begins the journey of what I think is going to be a very, very good college career.
I think so too. You just don't see guys who see the game that he sees the game. Like again, it just doesn't seem like it fits in. You know, the plays he makes, they're special. It feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were, when it was late in the game, and Oregon State, was never really out of it down that stretch, and they got a couple calls that let them hit some free throws and get back into it. I would have rather seen Jeriah Horn replace Deshaun Schwartz in that last lineup and just put Horn at the 3 because, in a game where Deshaun Schwartz isn't hitting anything, Jeriah Horn is one of your best free throw shooters, and De Silva and Batty are really having great control of the post. And not to shy away from De Silva, but I would like to pivot a little bit and talk to Deshaun Schwartz. 6 points tonight. Again, 0 for 5 from 3. He is 0 for 12 from three-point land in the last 3 games combined.
I think he was 0 for 7 just in the last one.
Yeah, and he was 0 for 0 the one before. So
It's fine. He's fine.
He's fine.
They
not
won.
Not even a little concerned.
I understand they won, but I think it's good to talk about because Colorado 22% from 3 tonight. Another shaky performance from deep.
That's a feather in the cap, in my opinion. When you can win on the road while not making threes, that's a good thing. Now, eventually, you're gonna have to start making them. And Henry and I talked about this the other night after they lost to Oregon.
We did.
You live by the 3, you die by the 3. They were dying by the 3 for the last 2 games before tonight.
They were really dying by the 3.
I think it's fantastic that they continued to miss threes tonight and still won the basketball game. Like, they will come out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Jeriah Horn, Deshaun Schwartz, Maddox Daniels, McKinley Wright, all these guys can make threes. They are capable of making threes. Dallas Walton, Evan Batty is capable of making threes. Start to finish on this team, Eli Parquet is capable of making threes. They're not making them right now. That's not good. They won tonight. That's fantastic. They will break out of this eventually, and it's fine. They're fine.
I'm convinced. Quite frankly, I was gonna say, it is a little bit concerning that their last 3 games they haven't been able to get it to click, but make a good argument. Chop it up. Next segment.
Well, I just you are going to go through slumps in a season, and it's okay. Everyone wants to panic every time these slumps happen.
I really do.
22, you shouldn't win basketball games when you shoot 22% from 3.
It does help that the opponent shot 27.
Sure, that's still 5% better though.
It is.
And also, when they shoot 27% from 3, you take credit for that, right?
Yeah.
When you shoot 22% from 3, you don't give them any credit.
That is true.
You just say we missed our shots, they had nothing to do with it. Then you look at them, you say they shot 27%, and you're like, that's because we did such a great job on defense.
And you get to do that because you won the basketball game, so you set the rules.
Mitchell Smith, who is on the Big Drive Energy podcast, he changed my life because he said, when I hit a bad golf shot, I never blame myself. He's like, I blame everything else I possibly can. Nothing could have been my fault. So the wind, I didn't know the wind was coming out of the right. It picked up right after I hit it.
Yeah.
My foot slipped because I'm missing, something's wrong with my cleats. You never...
The cleats that you bought.
Yes. You
and
never...
take care of.
Well, but something was wrong with them on that day. You just didn't realize it.
Yeah.
You never blame yourself for a bad shot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I think the Buffs need to approach this. Don't blame yourself for the fact that the shots weren't going in, but take all the credit for the fact that their shots weren't going in.
Did Mitch teach you that too?
Yes.
So would you say, ever since this day when Mitch changed your life with this information, positive trend or negative trend?
I haven't done a single thing wrong.
Okay, so it's gone well.
It's been incredible.
You haven't done one thing wrong.
Yeah.
How could you have?
Something goes wrong. I can't believe something else caused that to happen.
Huh. Allie disagrees.
Well, I mean, I don't know. That's her problem.
Okay, well, we're going to ask for Ben Palm on some analysis on all of this. It's
Tefal
Can we just go thumbs up, thumbs down? Is any of this true about... Okay.
The shots will fall next game.
The shots will fall next game.
Mark my words. 35% over from 3 next game.
Okay, over
That segment
35%.
isn't up yet, Ryan. You just jumped ahead. And now Henry's confused.
I know, now I'm going to push you to
He's in shambles.
39. I know, there goes my one question for the night. All right, we're going to take a quick break. While you guys are listening to me tell you about some of our awesome partners, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And if you don't see those buttons, it's because you're not on YouTube, so get over to YouTube because that's better. Also, if you wanted to get a membership to thednvr.com, see all of our written content, that would be pretty cool of you to do too.
Cool.
Super chats, I think we've totally forgot to push those the last couple times we've done this. We can't offer much, can we?
Henry or Ben will do a shot if you bring in a super chat.
Well, Ben's going up to Boulder tonight, so I'll do a shot if there's a super chat.
I'll pour you one.
Ben will pour it at least.
I have my Winski inside of this coffee.
4 hours ago. And then like 3 more Winskis.
Well, I've had like 7 Winskis today.
Yeah.
I was banking on the Buffs winning before they won.
And banking on the
you
Avs
were right.
winning 8 hours before.
Really, the
game
Avs are going to win twice
resumes.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Avs are... That's why I have this coffee, because I was like, it's 8:30 right now.
Isn't it
I've been
unbelievable?
here since 11 a.m. or noon. And I've been here since noon. It's 8:30 right now. The Avs don't start for another hour and a half.
Have you opened the ESPN app and see what they have to say about this game?
No.
Like, it is the just silliest looking. Oh, this isn't even going to be great video content because I'm not walking all the way over there. But this little will resume at 12 a.m. delayed. Oh, they had another little piece of text over here explaining something else. And it's just like, oh, it's a weird day. We're going to get to these ads, though. Throw any questions you have in the chat, too. That's the other thing we have to get to.
Tell me what the ad is.
The ad is, I had plenty of time to check. Hassel Cattle Company.
Dude.
Have any meat thoughts?
Listen.
Anything deep?
If you want to get meaty, Hassel Cattle
like
Company is the place to go. First of all, use the code DNVR10. You're going to get 10% off your entire order. And if you go over $200, you're going to get free shipping. Now, you might be saying, like, man, that's a pretty big order to go over $200.
a lot of meat.
But
Can we handle this much meat?
You use that code DNVR10. You're going to save $20 on that. You're going to get your entire order shipped free. And when you look on the website, when you go to HassleCattleCompany.com, you're going to see, like, wow, Denver steaks, New York strips, the jalapeno cheddar smoked sausages, which will literally blow your mind.
Wow.
They've got an incredible deal on the ground chuck, which I had the other night. The flavor's insane. What you should do is make a big ol' order and just stock your freezer.
With ground
because it's
chuck?
going to stay good in that freezer, and you're going to need red meat eventually.
It's very
It's not
true.
like there's ever a time where you're like, man, I wish I didn't have any red meat right now.
My mom actually went vegan. So beforehand,
Yeah,
I mean that was a very serious lifestyle change.
Yeah.
But outside of that,
if I wanted a penny for her thoughts, I would have let you know.
my mom's name is Penny, for those who don't know. That was a very inside joke there.
Anyways, you're always going to want red meat. Make a big old order from Hassel Cattle Company. Use the code DNVR10, 10% off. And if you make an order of over $200, you will get free shipping, which is worth it. You're never, like, you want it to last as long as it possibly can.
And real quick, too, if you look at how much it would cost to just get that amount of meat over time at the grocery store compared to ordering online, it's really comparable. It's not like this is any more expensive. It is a perfect combination of price, convenience, and fantastic food.
It's like the triangle thing. Usually that's health, price,
All of it.
good food.
Yeah, it hits all
The
of
point
it.
is you get the whole triangle. And it sounds like this is a square and you get that fourth corner too.
Look at that. Hassel Cattle Company's not just giving you a triangle. They decided to add an entire side to this shape and give you a square. I mean,
Incredible.
Here's a quick question for Ben Palm. Why should people download DraftKings?
why should they download
But
DraftKings?
strictly from a Ben Palm perspective. You have to have some facts here.
Well, my facts is I've been making some fat cash on DraftKings Sportsbook since I started using my own Ben Palm rankings to bet on basketball games. Now, Ben Palm rankings are proprietary.
Which means you store them just
Well,
right up here?
nobody knows my formulas.
That's true.
They're hidden away. They're locked
Yes.
in a safe in my apartment. But they're foolproof. And I've been flipping. You know, my unit it might be a little smaller than other people's units.
Don't say
That's what he
that.
tells girls at the bar.
That's why he's still up here with us.
Ben Pom did not like that response.
Ben Pom, not a fan. Big thumbs down from Ben Pom.
Yeah. Yeah. DraftKings Sportsbook is pretty great. My mojo's ruined now.
There we go. Big fight tonight.
It's not about the size of the unit in the fight. It's about the size of the fight in the unit.
Couple of big units in this fight tonight, though. It's heavyweights.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our guy Blades.
Our guy, same barber.
Minus 400 on the money line, so you're going to have to mess with it to get any sort of value, but it's going to be, I think it's going to be an easy win for our guy Blades.
I think so, too. You can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code DNVR to get your shot to turn $1 into $100 when you bet on any team to hit a three-pointer in any basketball game this week. That's promo code DNVR for new customers. Get a shot at 100-1 odds on any basketball team to hit a three-point shot. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older. Colorado only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. Winnings paid out in $4 $25 free bets. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. All right.
Important question from Flyby Cygnus here.
Oh, good. What's the question?
Where does Ben Pom rank Ben Pom
Whoa!
among the rankings?
Wow. This is a great question.
God. I mean, no, it's a real brain teaser. So Ben Pom is actually higher than Ken Pom and Net because Ben Pom is, as I said, it's proprietary.
Yeah.
But I want you to understand that it incorporates Ken Pom and Net in that proprietariness. So, am I even saying that word right?
Yeah, you're saying everything right.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
You should say more.
You should keep saying proprietary too. Makes you sound smart.
So
Proprietary.
it's pretty high up there. And
Doesn't work for you, Ryan.
I will say I have sent my Ben
Proprietary.
Pom rankings along to the likes of Matt Norlander and Andy Katz and Joe Lenardi. None of them have accepted my DM yet.
How do you rank those three?
Those
How
three
does
guys?
Ben Pom rank those three?
Ben Pom rank Katz, Norlander. I've never even heard of him. And
Hey, no help.
What's the other guy with the terrible
Lenardi?
tweets? Rothstein.
Oh,
those
okay.
tweets.
Yeah, as much as it hates me to not put Andy Katz last, Katz would be second for me here. Matt Norlander, he is a CBS college basketball contributor. He's an insider. Love his podcast, and he's got a similar voice to a person I used to listen to on Marvel podcasts.
Does
so it
make
really
the
bridges
switch
the gaps
easy.
for me. Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, did we just learn like a new thing about your personality? Marvel? That's a thing you like?
Oh, I'm not sure if you knew. If any listeners out there are interested, I am the founder and president of the Marvel Super Movie Club at CU Boulder.
It was on his resume.
It was on my resume when I sent it to Henry years and years ago.
He got hired.
Real feather in the cap, for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, basketball. Pick a buff. Ryan pick a buff. Ben Pom say something about him.
Okay.
Equally challenging.
Pick a buff. I choose Chauncey Billups.
Oh wow. Okay, we
Ali
should.
wants us to choose current buffs. Okay. Evan Batty.
I mean, his stock is rising. He had a good bounce back game. I don't think that his stock really fell after the Oregon game, but it was disappointing to see kind of one of your three pillars kind of fall down. So stepped up tonight. I will say his inability to generate shots in the second half at a consistent clip and get to the line, quite frankly, as well. Again, not concerning, but it's disappointing because his 10 points in the first half really gave the Buffs a great crutch, especially on the post. So they're going to need, a full, complete game from him moving forward against these LA schools because especially when you look at USC, Batty is going to have to match the Mobley brothers if the Buffs really want to compete.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm just looking through some of these stats. And there's some gross
Horn.
stuff. Okay, we'll go straight back. Jariah Horn. Thoughts on Jariah Horn, Ben Pom?
I mean, I'm a little disappointed that he's not able to play more and get, as many minutes. But as Flyby Singus chimes in here, dude, how is it that Jariah Horn? Oh God, there's a cord in my way.
Has quietly
Thank
shot
you.
93% from the line.
I will say I don't think it's all that quiet. I think, for me at least, anytime you're in a free throw situation, and I said this to y'all when it was under 1 minute left, my inbounds play whenever the other team is going to foul is going to be the exact same every time if I'm Tad Boyle. You put Eli Parquet as your inbound passer, and you immediately get it into Jariah Horn. then he has two choices. He either accepts the foul that they're going to come, or he kicks it to McKinley Wright, who starts to cut under. That way, you're either getting it in your best shooter's hands or your leader's hands.
Yep.
I think he's only missed 2 or 3 maybe on the season, so his sample size might not be as high as anybody else, but he's as consistent at the line as he is across the arc. And for him, I don't think the minutes have been posted yet, at least not on ESPN that I can see.
I've got him.
So annoying.
18 for Horn.
18. And
more. Give him
yeah,
more.
he needs to be playing at least 25. More for Horn. Start
He's
the
the
hashtag.
second best player on the team.
Yep.
In my opinion. It's McKinley Wright
Yeah.
and then Jeriah Horn.
Yeah, I think so.
Especially without Jabari Walker on the squad. And
How close is Eli?
Eli is a extremely good specialized player.
Yep.
But he's just not his offense just isn't consistent. Jeriah Horn's offense is really consistent. So for me, I want Jeriah Horn 25 or more minutes a night.
This is a real quick aside, but I'm curious. I don't know if you guys did this during the Oregon postgame, but rank positions aside, just raw talent base, who would be your top 5 Buffs on this team?
That's an interesting one.
And I can start. I think it's Ken, Jeriah, Evan Batty.
You're not are you not doing Jabari?
Okay. Ken, Jabari, Horn, Batty, and then I probably put Parquet at the 5th spot just because his defense is that game changing.
Yeah.
I like your rankings. That's where I would have it as well.
Ben Palm has the RK sample.
I'm not-
approval.
Ben Palm
Yeah.
absolutely nailed it.
I'm not going to argue with Ben Palm. It just doesn't feel like an argument you win.
Yeah, I mean, they're researched, well thought out, analytics backed.
Tell you what,
Nothing
if my
Yeah.
high school math teachers could see me now,
Also
I know.
proprietary.
just know where I've come.
They would be so proud.
I took one math class in college. I got 105% in the class.
Whoa.
Wow.
There was a bunch of extra credit, and I just nailed it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Let's
It was easier than any math class I took in high school.
yeah, I mean it would have to be, right?
So easy.
For you to be able to get 105%.
Yeah. So maybe
Yeah.
I should be the analytics guy.
Maybe. Okay. The Buffs shot 22 free throws. They've been in single-digit free throw shooting the last 2 games. I think 14 total. What's the difference? Was it all the refs? Did it seem like they were more aggressive? Did it seem like things were different? Or did they just happen to get more opportunities to take shots?
It's always all the refs. It's the worst
Yeah.
part about basketball as a sport. You just never know going into a game what the refs are going to decide to do. And the weird thing is, early in the Oregon game, I thought to myself, this is benefiting the Buffs. They're not calling anything. And so you're not going to get Dallas in foul trouble. You're not going to get Evan in foul trouble. But the truth is, I'm going to touch wood after I say this, but the Buffs are currently the best free throw shooting team in the history of college basketball.
They've been playing basketball a long time.
So
Ben Palm confirms.
every time that they want to get cute with the whistle and start blowing it a bunch and giving a bunch of free throws, it's going to benefit the Buffaloes. So unfortunately, you're just going into every game with a dilemma, right? Are we going to shoot a bunch of free throws and make a bunch of free throws, or are we going to trade that? So I guess are you going to shoot a bunch of free throws and lose Evan Batty because they're blowing the whistle on everything? Or are you going to not shoot a bunch of free throws and keep your bigs? And it's kind of a shitty place to be in. But in the end, even if you end up losing your bigs, okay, well, we're going to shoot a bunch of free throws and we're going to make all of them.
Yeah, and quite frankly, with the front court depth of this team, I think that's the fair trade because it just is going to benefit you. The ball is just going to bounce better for you from the charity stripe. But I will say, if you're an Oregon State fan watching, first and foremost, I have no idea, how you found your way onto this stream. But you I kind of feel for Oregon State fans in the fact that Colorado shot 22 free throws and they only shot 12. Because in a close game like this, realistically, both teams are committing more or less the same amount of fouls and the same types of fouls. If it's a difference of more than 3 or 4, that's when it's a bummer if you're on the losing end of it. But for the Buffs, they really haven't had that bad whistle more than, a few times. I think the Cal game is one of them, stuff like that.
All right. Before we take our last break here, We're going to play a quick game. This is going to be another over-under game, but how it's going to work is I'm going to tell you how many minutes a player played tonight, and you're going to tell me if you want to see over-under that in the tournament games.
I like this.
Deshaun Schwartz played 33 minutes of 40 minutes tonight. Over-under that in the tournament. Do you want to see, not what you expect?
The same.
Not an option.
Okay, I'm going to say under because I don't want to play 34 minutes.
Okay.
But I do want him to play 33 minutes.
I'd say under. I'm comfortable with him in the high 20s, around 29, because the other thing is, right now they're playing with a 9-man rotation. You get Jabari back. That's a 10-man rotation. Going into the tournament, you really want to be around 8 guys, but I would not be surprised if this rotation is still 9 just because of the talent.
Do we expect them to have Jabari back for the next game? Based on Tad saying, like, he thought, like, maybe I think he said something along the lines of, like, there's a slim chance he's back for Oregon early in the week.
Yeah.
So, obviously, they didn't get him back then. They didn't get him back for Oregon State. You feel like if there was a slim chance he came back on Thursday, when's our next game?
Thursday
Next
again.
Thursday. He'll be back. He should be back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm optimistic.
I would be, too.
Basketball injuries are weird.
I will say Dallas Walton, there was like slim chances for about 2 weeks. Now, he's a special case
true.
because with his injury history, you do want to take it a little slower. But I also wouldn't be surprised if maybe he dresses, but maybe Tad plays it by ear. You know, I mean, what if they're up against USC and their bigs aren't in foul trouble? Then I think you might be able to roll, but it does depend.
Yep. I'll go under on Schwartz too. And I'm assuming Jabari's back. I just think that there are too many guys who can give you a spark on the bench. And not to discredit what Deshaun provides.
It's just Deshaun, to me, is the linchpin of the team. So when he plays well, they win.
I think so.
I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a game this season where he played well and they lost. I don't even know if they exist.
Yeah.
So that's why I want him to work himself into the game, drive, get buckets at the rim, and when he does that, the shot starts falling from the outside. So that's why I don't care how many minutes you play him as long as he gets himself involved.
All right. Dallas Walton played 15 minutes tonight. Over under that, do you want to see?
I'd love to see over.
Yeah.
It's just, you mentioned him. He's like Boban, right? He can only play so much. And you protect him because of the injuries. I think because he's so big, it's just tough for you to play him a bunch of minutes, but he's huge, so he makes it tough at the rim. And at least aside from the last 2 games, he's really good as an offensive option as a big. He makes, those left-handed, hooks at the rim. So hopefully he gets the offensive touch back because it's been gone for 2 games. But when he's out there, good things happen. At least that's how it feels.
Yep, I'd say over as well. You love when he's getting around that 20-minute mark. I think tonight it might have been on the low side just because he was out of a rhythm again. And I think his minute totals are really dependent on that first 5. How he's doing before the under-16 timeout really dictates how much Tad is going to put him in there, because that's really when you can tell if he's going to be able to assert his dominance on the glass or, maybe if it's just an off night.
Evan Batty, 27 minutes.
It's a lot. I want it to be under, but that's because Jabari Walker's back.
Yep.
I'd agree.
Yeah. Again, it's really close, though. Yeah, I would go under. Eli Parquet, 28 minutes.
Shoot. I don't want to take him off the court ever.
I know.
He's the clamp guy. Like, you point out a player on the other team and you say, we don't want them to beat us tonight. I mean, it's not 1 through 5, but it's definitely 1 through 3. And honestly, if it was 4, I would probably trust him there as well. Yep. He hasn't had to do it. But whoever their best player is 1 through 3, you put Eli Parquet on them, they're just half as effective as it normally is. So when push comes to shove, I think you're going to play him in the 30-minute range because you're going to end up playing really good teams late in the season.
Yep, I completely agree. He's one of those guys where I think Eli Parquet should be getting the amount that Deshaun Schwartz got tonight. Just as far as you give him a 2-minute breather in the first, maybe a 2-minute breather early in the second, and then see how close the game is later on. He is that like you said, he's the clamp defender that can just shut down a part of the opposing team's backcourt, and it just is so tangible when he's on the floor. That And while he doesn't shoot a lot, he's a tendency for some big ones.
How crazy is it that we're going 3 for 3 on over 28 minutes, and we're this excited about it when the stat line that we just saw him put up was 3 points, 1 of 3 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3.
Don't care.
1 defensive rebound, 1 personal foul, 1 turnover, and 1 steal.
You know why?
And 1 pain in the ass
Yep.
for whoever he was guarding.
Yep, and you know who
Yep.
he was guarding? Jared Lucas. 5 points, 1 for 9 from the floor, 1 for 6 from 3, 2 rebounds.
The real question is, who?
Yep.
Jared who?
Yep.
Jared Hukas? Because he got clamped.
McKinley Wright, 36 minutes tonight. So hard.
Over.
Yeah.
He can't not play.
You get it a minute and a half. Sorry we can't give you 2 because you played 36 tonight.
Like, listen, at this point, like, taking him off the court is honestly purely ceremonial. Like, you're just doing it to say you did it because it feels irresponsible to play him 40 minutes a night. You have no choice. Just play him 40 minutes a night. When the games matter, play him 40 minutes a night, and it's fine. He's young. He'll be okay. That's my take. Like, over. Stop taking him off the court, especially when the games matter.
Yep.
I give him a 1-minute breather in the first half at the under 10.
If things are
cool
going
with
well.
that.
Yep. And then in the second half, you probably try and get him a minute breather at the under 16. And that is just, and that depends on the score. But
Don't take him off the court.
yeah, you really
Yeah.
can't afford to.
By the way, on DNVR bets, we gave out Gonzaga minus 32.5, which felt like a lot. They won by like 45.
Wow.
They scored 100 points. Gonzaga is one of the most freakish
incredible.
basketball teams I've ever seen.
I think they have 2 games left on the schedule, and they're 21-0.
They're unbelievable.
They're unbelievable.
100 points in 40 minutes?
Yeah. I've got Jalen Suggs on the Nuggets in 2K, about to get a second straight
Henry
title.
in his 2K.
Wow.
Yep. These are about to get real tricky. Maddox Daniels played 18 minutes tonight. Over under that in the tournament.
Under.
Oh, Henry, I really wanted him to, like, I wanted to forgive him for his sins. And he was really close to being forgiven. And then all of a sudden it just went away again. And until he starts making shots again, and you just can't play him. Like, you have to play him as little as you can at this point right now because he's not shooting confidently and he's not making them. So if he ever figures out, like, I can shoot again, then I'll say over. But right now I have to say under.
Yeah. For the season, though, even going 1 of 4 tonight, 37% from 3. That's maybe not a spectacular number for a pure 3-point.
The problem is he's trending the wrong way.
Barely D, but yeah.
You know, honestly, I say under, but only because I don't like Maddox at the 3. I just don't feel as confident as him defending a 3 as I would Deshaun Schwartz. I like him more as a 2, even if he's not as comfortable there. And you just don't have the minutes to give when you are giving Kin 38, Parquet 34, you know, and then Deshaun Schwartz still probably around 30. I will say, though, to Maddox's credit, he has rounded out his game very well over the course of the season. He's become a serviceable defender. He's fine as a ball handler in a pinch. So I do think he does have that going for him, but I agree. If he is not making those 3-point shots, then 10 to 15 is your max.
Yep. I think that'll make sense. Here's another tough one. Keyshawn Bartholomew, over under 4 minutes.
I mean, I just said take the under on McKinley Wright being off the court for 3 minutes, so
It's got to be under.
He is capable. He's definitely capable. And like I said on the last show, the reason you're playing him right now is to get towards his dev trait, right?
Yeah.
You think he has a star dev trait. He needs to get 500 touches, and you're trying to get him towards that. That's a Madden reference if you don't understand it at home.
That is a Madden franchise reference, not even just the general users of the game.
Yeah, like, you got to play a guy to develop him. That's why they're playing him. Unfortunately, he's not adding much right now when he plays. And that's why you can't really afford to take McKinley Wright off the court.
Yep. For this one, we're just going to assume that Jabari Walker is a 1-for-1 replacement for Tristan Da Silva. I think that's pretty close to a fair assumption. So we're going to give those 21 minutes tonight to Jabari Walker and say over-under.
Over under 21 minutes for Jabari Walker
Yep.
when he's healthy.
Yep.
Over.
Yep.
But when it first happens, you're not going to get that. I think
Yeah,
the
I
first
agree.
night that he's healthy, you'll get 15. The second night that he's healthy, you'll get 20. But after that, he needs to be playing 27 to 30 minutes a night.
And Jariah Horn at 18.
Over.
Way over.
That's an easy one.
This is the worst. This is my biggest Tad Boyle criticism right now. Not playing Jariah Horn enough. Like I said, I think he's the best player on the second best player on the team right now.
Yeah.
You got to play him as much as you can. I trust him in every facet. I trust him on defense. I trust him guarding 1 through 5, which is rare. And so I want him out there way more than he's out there right now. But I like the fact that even if you have to go to that point, he's very well rested this season. I think he should be a starter. He hasn't been. And I think you're in a good position with him moving into the late stages of the season of how much you can play him.
Yep, I'm having him and Jabari Walker as my first two off the bench in every game when healthy. And quite frankly, I think you can get creative with that lineup because Jariah Horn, not only can he guard 1 through 5, but also he can pretty much play 1 through 5. He has a very tight handle for someone who's 6'7". He's an excellent passer. He sees the floor with an incredible vision. Put him at the 3. I'm begging you, Tad. Put him at the 3. Put Jabari at the 4. Or, I mean, you don't need to have these necessarily defined positions in basketball. You can just try and get your best 5 on the floor. And your best 5 is going to be Ken Parquet, Horn, Walker, and Batty. So figure out a way to do that because if you do, you actually have a chance of making some noise in March.
Yep. Jariah Horn was a +6 in his 18 minutes tonight. That team tied for the best on the team with Maddox Daniels and McKinley Wright. Played 18 minutes. That's it for all those. I guess one more question. Do we see Tristan Da Silva when this team is using its rotation? How many minutes do you think?
Upwards of 10.
Okay.
Yeah. He's earned his way in. He is reliable on defense. He is capable on offense. And there's no reason that they wouldn't keep playing him. So, yeah, I think he's earned his way into the rotation.
Yep. I think Da Silva and Walton combine for around 20 a night because I think those are kind of your exchangeable guys as far as Walton's not going to play all that much. Da Silva can give you a spark, and they both do a great job kind of in that rim protection type of role. And real quick, while I am thinking about it, I would also not be surprised if Keyshawn hits over 4 minutes moving forward and just takes away from what Maddox Daniels is doing because, I mean, putting Keyshawn and McKinley on the floor at the same time, that's really not a bad play.
No.
Allows Ken to play off ball, really mixes up what your attack is going to be, and gives the defense a different look because if McKinley Wright's going to be on the floor for so long, giving him a chance to almost play a 2 kind of role.
The LeBron strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
Just let him stand in the corner for a couple possessions.
Yep, just to take
That's
the
his rest.
attention away. Yeah.
Still out there if you need him, but he gets a little rest. I like it. We're going to take one really quick break, but when we come back, we're answering all your questions, so make sure you get all of those in, and like and subscribe and all that because that's important to us. All right. MSU Denver Online. It's a great place to go if you're looking for an online education. Super convenient because obviously if it's online, you don't have to be in Denver. Wherever you are, you can get an awesome education from people who have been providing an online education for a while and have really refined the way that they approach online education. If you guys want more information on MSU Denver Online, they have 40 different programs that can get you a degree, 700 plus classes you can take on your way to getting that degree. You can go to msudenver.com/online for more information.
msudenver.edu/online.
It's been out of the read for so long. Just assume that I remembered. Well, that was a mistake, but we have some questions to answer. Let's get to those. Oh, also the DraftKings King of the Game. Can't forget McKinley Wright.
Has he gotten this before?
Has he gotten this before?
Feels like he's gotten it quite a bit. The
yeah,
king of the game.
that crown fits him pretty well.
Yeah.
You can tell that he's worn it before. 21 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Such a just good, well-rounded performance from Kin, who provided basically whatever the Buffs needed whenever they needed it.
He's so reliable on teams who if you allow him to get past the free throw line, you're in big trouble. And that's what they did tonight. And if you allow that to happen, you're just going to let him get a bunch of points. That's what happened tonight.
Yep. And you know, the headline of this show is McKinley Wright wills Colorado. I mean, his impact offensively in that second half was tangible. You could feel it when he was driving to the rim. You could feel it when he was making plays. And, you know, in games like this, Oregon State, they're a middle of the pack, you know, in the conference. They're a middle tier team in the Pac-12. But this was still a must win. It still was not an easy win. Oregon State's fantastic at home when they're in Corvallis. For Colorado to go in there and come out with a win, it is, you know, it's really tough to describe just how big it was. And so for McKinley Wright to be leading that charge and one of his best, you know, offensive games in a while, it's deserving that he is our DraftKings king of the game.
Yeah. Ben just brought up the second half where he was so important. He had the first 11 points for the Buffs in that second half, scored the last 2 of those right before he got pulled for his 2 minutes of rest. And that's what he provides to the team. That's why it's so scary when he does go to the bench, because he did all the scoring. For those of you who just saw that, we're going to questions now. And first up is Peter Martin, who says, "Damn, Ben really feeling himself tonight." Seems like we say that often. Did he finally get a date or something?
Doubtful.
Well, he actually did.
You know
We're not going to dig too deep.
You know what's actually pretty funny? Is a girl that I matched with on Tinder is watching tonight.
Oh, name?
Wow.
Nope.
Can we get a name drop?
Wow.
Nope.
All
so
of
she's
this.
not real. All right.
Okay. Well, this totally changes it. Next question comes from me. Hey, Ben, what would you compare McKinley Wright's performance tonight to?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any good analogies?
You know, McKinley Wright tonight, he was on fire. He was electric. He was possessed. He was like Agatha in this recent episode of WandaVision.
I'm sure people
It's
thought
an
that was
analogy.
good. No, I don't watch WandaVision.
It's an analogy that you guys wouldn't understand.
I know that way we can't tell you you're wrong.
On fire?
No. She was possessed, though. She's a witch.
Wasn't one of the X-Men on, like, literally on fire?
Why don't you say
That would have been
like
the superhero
Katniss
reference.
Everdeen, but male form.
Oh, wow.
What? Okay.
Peter Malark.
Peter.
I mean, I don't know
Baker?
that he deserved.
Yeah, on fire.
Okay, McKinley Wright tonight was like Doc Brown, okay? He saw a goal. He saw a DeLorean, and you know what he wanted to do?
Drive
He said,
it?
you know what, screw this car, I'm going to travel back in time. McKinley Wright said, you know what, screw these Beavers, I'm going to go win this game.
That is what happened.
A direct quote from McKinley Wright, "Let's screw these Beavers."
Let's screw these Beavers.
That's not being COVID safe.
Okay. Does Dry Horn make an NBA roster from Jason Williamson? I mean, again, that's probably the right answer. At the same time, though, the man is shooting close to 50% from 3 for the season. If he's going to knock down those shots, who knows? I'm not going to say no, but do all those defensive skills translate to the next level? Is he quick enough to guard threes in the NBA? Because he's probably not big enough to guard fours.
Just a tweener.
Yeah.
I hate it. Like, he's not big enough to be a forward in the NBA. He's not small enough to be a guard or fast enough to be a guard in the NBA. It's not fun, but that's just the way things work. Like, if he was 6'8", well, then yes. But there's 6'8" players who play like him that are in the NBA. What is he, 6'5", maybe?
6'7".
He's listed 6'7".
Well,
No.
the interesting thing is he is listed as the same height as Tyler Bay. Completely different skill sets. And that's why Tyler Bay made it on an NBA roster, because his athleticism and length is what allows him to thrive as a tweener, because he's really in that 3-4 range, but his length and athleticism really make up for it.
He's not 6'7". Just not.
Maybe
I'll maybe allow 6'6", but I think he's about 6'5".
It's one of the tough parts about pandemic is I haven't met the man in person before, but he definitely does seem on the smaller side. At the same time, though, what were people saying about Paul Millsap when he came out? You know, he was a second-round pick, didn't really have the skills. turns into like a good glue guy, good defender.
He was so
builds a
athletic.
3-point shot. He's like an inch or two taller. Yeah, it's.
I mean, he's
But
not
but
now
that
he's
is
like
the kind of
40 years
path,
old,
though,
but-
right?
Yeah, listen, I don't.
It's a long
I
shot.
hate being the guy who says like no to this type of stuff, but like I would much rather think about the positive of like he can have a really great career overseas.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was just about to say he's going to win some championships in some sort of Euro League.
Like look at
because-
Corey Higgins. Corey Higgins is tied for the all-time leading scorer at Colorado. You know who he's tied with? Richard Roby. Both of those guys, neither of them ever made it in the NBA. They never even really got close. Both of them, incredible overseas careers of maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars playing basketball. Corey Higgins just won MVP of the championship of the Spanish league. Like, that stuff is awesome. You can have an amazing, you know, it reminds me of when I was talking to young high school basketball players when I was working for Rivals. And I just wanted to let them know, like, dude, there's no shame in playing D2, D3 basketball.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. There's no shame in playing overseas. You get paid 6 figures to play basketball and live in like Greece or Spain.
That sounds incredible.
And it's okay. Like, I understand the dream is to make the NBA. If you can be a professional basketball player, there's absolutely no shame in this. Josh Scott, another amazing buff. He's playing in like the Adriatic League. It doesn't matter. You make tons of money. Now he's playing in Tokyo. That's so cool. So
It would be fun to go to
Jeriah
Tokyo.
Horn will be able to play professional basketball. And that's nothing to scoff at.
BD Sticks, proud DNVR subscriber, Oregon State fan here.
And shout out, he's very active in the
was.
Buffs chat, in our members Discord lounge during whenever these matchups come up. So, you know, really love the enthusiasm and, you know, playing ball with some of the Buffs fans in there.
Bye-bye Cygnus 2112. What's the best outcome for the last 2 games against the LA schools? Do you have to win both?
Well, the best outcome is to go 2-0.
What is it?
That's
Wait,
usually how that works.
Let's check with Ben Pump.
Yeah, is that, what do they say?
2-0, best possible result.
In a 2-game
Wait,
sample
let me
size?
check my Excel sheet here. 2
Oh, wow.
games. Yes, 2-0 is mathematically
Okay.
the best you can do
Wow.
there.
Good to know.
But no, realistic expectation, split it.
No.
Oh.
So I've...
Just look good. Pass the eye test.
No. When we talked, I don't remember after what game it was, but we said, what's the over-under on wins for them the rest of the season? I think they had 7 games left. I said over 4.5. And splitting on the road is fine. I am a big believer in split on the road, take care of business at home. Split on the road, take care of business at home. Well, guess what? You split on the road. 4-game road trip, you went 2-2. That's completely fine. You don't want to lose to Cal, but you went 2-2 on a road trip. Well, guess what? You split on the road, that means you have to take care of business at home. They need to win these 2 games.
Yeah, they do. And for those of you who are wondering about like the path to getting number 1, it's not looking good because USC is now playing 20 total games and Colorado's playing 19. So that win, you couldn't get the tiebreaker that would change things. So instead of needing USC to get the 6th loss to tie Colorado, you need a 7th. So they need to lose 4 of their final 5, including the one in Boulder. It's possible.
Wait, really? It's not just conference losses? I think it is just conference losses.
Yeah, Colorado's 11-6 in conference now, right? That's what ESPN has them as.
Is that their conference record? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It does seem like a lot of
Feels
losses.
like a lot of games.
I don't know.
It does feel like a lot of games.
I mean, I normally agree with you. I would say split on the road, win at home, and then you're good to go. What I will say is,
Wow.
back then, yeah, and RK pointing at my screen right now, just, you know, Oregon is up 1. Utah has the lost possession. That game's still coming down to the wire there. And I'm curious, Henry, this is a random aside. I want to talk to RK about what we talked about yesterday with
Have at it.
best Pac-12 standings. Okay, well, yeah, let's dive in then. Henry and I came to a bit of a consensus when we talked about what is the best Pac-12 standings heading into the tournament. It would be either the LA schools at the top. No, it wasn't. It was USC wins, UCLA, Oregon, Colorado at 4, and Stanford. And here's why. Because this year, top 5 teams get a bye.
Which they just decided yesterday.
So That means
we had been assuming all along.
Yeah.
Well, that means you get that first day off regardless, and then you play Stanford, which arguably you beat Stanford better than you play any other team in this conference. And then
you already
play
have
USC.
the best De Silva in the conference.
Right,
You do.
and then you play
Best
USC
Silva anywhere.
which is a team you match up with, probably the best out of your top 4. So being the 4 seed really might be Colorado's best chance to make it to the final day of the Pac-12 tournament. And if they do that, that means they pick up a couple more wins. They really could be flirting with that 6 seed line.
Have they said anything about fans at the Pac-12 tournament yet?
No, I doubt it. I doubt they'd have anything there.
They've already said, right, 25% at all tournament games, right?
Oh, really? I missed that.
Yeah. Pac-12, not Pac-12
Yeah.
tournament, but NCAA tournament. I think they're going to allow 25% capacity.
Interesting. That's good.
So maybe they can do it for the Pac-12 tournament.
It's definitely possible. Any more questions? LMAO, what would y'all do without Allie? That is a really good question.
There wouldn't be a show.
Somebody would start the camera and we'd just be on a tangent for 8 hours.
Yes. There's a the Mars launch yesterday I was watching, and they were like cutting to somebody who was really important talking to a microphone, but the way they do it is everybody's like sitting in rows, and they had like the job titles on a placard in front, and right behind the person they kept cutting to, there was somebody whose job title was attitude control. And I thought I should meme that into Allie, and I was like, I'm not the one who's going to do that.
That just reminded me that on the outdoor game broadcast today, it was on mute, so I don't know who this person was. I think they were distinguished, but nonetheless, their name was Dusty Gooch.
Oh, I saw that as well, and it's good that you brought that up.
I think it's important to bring up.
Is Henry going to accept my friend request on Discord? Liam West.
Definitely.
I honestly didn't even know that there were
I
friends
didn't
on
either.
Discord.
He messaged me.
I
yeah.
absolutely will accept that, though, Liam. I just subscribed to the DNVR. Oh, best decision of your sports life. I'm sure it is. Oh, he said go do it in there. You definitely should go do it, and I'm glad to hear that Liam agrees with what we all say.
Shout out Liam. Also, I apologize, Liam, for declining the original request because I failed to remember that I was in a DNVR Discord. Just stop it, Ryan. So I got a friend request from somebody I didn't know, and both of you close your damn mouths.
You're not going to close this up.
Wow. You heard it here first. Ben Gerding, noted asshole.
But nothing about Henry like murmuring, "You're not gonna close this mouth."
No, I'm not there yet. You declined Liam West's friend request.
I didn't know.
Can't be doing that.
Unacceptable.
He's a diehard.
I didn't know. I panicked. I thought someone had somehow gotten my Discord.
Wow.
What does Ben Palm have to say about that decision, Ben?
It was a hard dislike by Ben Palm.
Yeah.
That dropped
Glad to
me down
hear
the
it.
Ben Palm rankings as far as DNVR not members,
Employees.
workers.
We're gonna be
Oh, that's the word
we're gonna be
for it.
using this like Ben Palm on the mistakes that Ben makes a lot more
Yes,
going forward.
That's good stuff.
I don't
Just
think our
force a little
graphics department can
reflection
keep
right
up.
Okay, that's a good point. That's gonna do it for today. Good win for the Buffs. Couple more
Everyone
big games.
chill.
Everyone chill.
RELAX.
Can we get a little bit hyped?
Yes.
The vibes
can't
are
get hyped?
fantastic tonight. Somebody's singing down in the bar. I can't really tell if it's good or not.
Ben
but-
is freaking out. Like
1 hour
when
to
someone
game
sings
time.
in the bar, he can hear that it's a girl's voice, and he's like, "I'm missing out on something right
Bro,
now."
there are girls here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this up. I'm going to
Yeah.
go put on Man, I Feel Like a Woman.
It's a Miley Cyrus song. Okay, we are done with this, and they're just women randomly yelling "I love you."
Somehow there's still an hour.
we gotta
until
get
the
down
Avs
there.
play.
I know. What am I gonna do? Probably drink a lot.
I've already done that.
I know you have. You should have waited for me.
I'm
Damn
sorry.
it. Okay, well, we're going to go drink a lot at the DNVR bar, and we'll be back next week with a couple more of these after the final 2 regular season games. Pretty crazy to think about. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.